Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today I'm going to do something really dumb, but I need to talk about it. I want to talk about video game opinions, and I mean like my opinions, other people's opinions, all this sort of stuff. This is going to be a very ranty kind of video, and I think it's really important. This is a video that is just I'm making for me really, but it's something I really want to talk about. So will you stay there? And if you're not really into this kind of sort of subject, then fair enough. But this is something that I want to make, and I want to go over some things that slightly drive me up the wall, but also just some context and stuff like that. So basically, I'm starting to realize that like people, I think, and this applies to all in life, but this is specifically about video game opinions. And as we all know, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, right? In video games, in movies, in books, whatever the media is, right? You have people that are officially paid to do reviews, right? And the whole point of a review, realistically, is so that the consumer, when they go to make a purchase for a game, is informed as to whether that game will be for them. Because, you know, video games are expensive. You know, some games are £70 now. In fact, a lot of games are £70 now, and that is a lot of money to drop onto a video game if it turns out that you don't like it, or turns out to not be in a working state, right? So, opinions themselves, or subjective opinions, are designed to help the buyer, essentially the consumer, to then be able to purchase a game. But overall, you as a person that buys a product, the only opinion that really matters is what is your own, right? So if I buy, let's say I buy, what have I got near me that would be useful? Oh, this will do. Right. I say I buy a Pepsi Max. I'm not sponsored by Pepsi, but let's just say I buy a Pepsi Max right from a shop, right? I'm the one drinking it. So essentially, I'm the one that decides whether that drink is nice, what I like, if I like it, if I don't like it, right? And the same with video games. You buy a game, and when you play that game, you either feel enjoyment from playing it, or you feel frustration, or somewhere in the middle. You know, a lot of the time it's like, I really like these aspects, I didn't like these aspects, right? That happens a lot. And your opinions are not wrong, right? At the end of the day, you as a consumer, you are not wrong, right? You are always going to have people that are going to disagree with you, full stop, right? But you as a consumer playing a game, you go, I don't like this game for whatever reason, that's fine, right? The problem always arises when you're trying to have discussions with people, and that's where a lot of it falls down, is when you're trying to have a discussion. If you have nothing really valid to say other than I didn't like the game, you're not wrong, it's just hard to kind of get past that point. And I think going back, you know, to when I was younger, when you're younger, you don't have, you kind of tolerate a lot more bullshit in games, and you also kind of get more enjoyment out of games in the sense that you usually have, you know, I was lucky enough to have people around me to play games with a lot when I was younger. I still do now, but I play a lot more games in single player now. So, for example, I use this game because I would never recommend it to anybody, but when I had my Dreamcast, I bought Army Men Sarge's Heroes, a game that I still love to this day. That game is quite buggy, the controls aren't that great, it's probably not a great game overall, it's got issues, right? But that doesn't matter because childhood me fucking loved that game, right? So back then I could play stuff on the Dreamcast that wasn't necessarily great. I could, you know, on my N64, on my NES, on my SNES, all these different, you know, consoles that I had growing up, before I was able to start making more informed purchases and before I started to buy my own games. So when I was younger, obviously I had consoles. When I was very young, all we had was an NES, and we had Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3, and I loved those games, and we played them to death for years. You know, then we got a SNES, then we got a Mega Drive, you know, and at the time, again, I just played everything that I had because I didn't have a lot of money. Luckily, there was a good second-hand shop in the town nearby. I was always behind on consoles, and I could just buy whatever I could afford. You know, I had pocket money, off I went, boom. And I played everything and everything. So like stuff on the SNES, like Joe and Mac, Caveman Warriors, right? Probably not a very good game compared to other games. You know, it's not like a Super Mario World or something on the SNES, but I really liked it. And as time goes on, you know, I got my DS, I became a bit more choosy about what I bought. 3DS, the Wii, the Wii U, all these sort of things where I was the one making the games, I've become more choosy, and I definitely have also become less interested in bullshit in games. That, like, I'm not going to stick with a game. No matter how much praise a game has, I'm not going to stick with it if I'm not enjoying it. So what has this got to do with video game opinions? Because I need that context to explain to where I am now. Running this YouTube channel, doing this YouTube channel, and having more funds, and living in a time where we have tons of sales on the Switch, probably the PlayStation and Xbox. I don't own those, but big sales on all the consoles. Steam, there's this weird value. Value for money is a massive thing. If you have infinite income, you're just going to buy all the games no matter the price. Doesn't matter, it becomes irrelevant. But if every month you've got, say, £50 to spend, and you might want to buy a few indie games 1 month, or maybe you want to buy a AAA game, right? You've saved up to do that. You have to pick and choose, and that's what I do, is I pick and choose what I want to play. And obviously during that period of time, right, I formulate my own opinions on what I like as a gamer, as someone who enjoys video games. I know what I like. Someone hands me a game that's like Mario, like Super Mario Brothers or something, I'm going to love that. Platformers are really my jam. Like fighting games I really enjoy, right? And there's a big box of things that I enjoy, and then there's a big box of things I don't enjoy. Like, I'm not really a fan of procedural generated roguelites, for example. I don't like certain things like Super Meat Boy that are really precision platformers. Not my thing. But then you got like the Metroidvanias. There's tons of stuff that I like, that I have in this box that I like, and there's stuff that I don't enjoy that's in this box. Now, I am at a point where, and a full video will come out on this, but I recently bought Hollow Knight for the Switch, and it's not a game that I didn't really know a huge amount about it, apart from that it's this as critically acclaimed Metroidvania game. It's more Metroid than it is Vania, because you don't really have RPG mechanics. That's a whole nother thing I'm not getting into. For the sake of this video, we'll just call it a Metroidvania. It's very much more like Metroid. You go to fight a boss, you get a new ability, and those abilities are basically keys, like every Metroidvania pretty much is. And the game itself is actually really good. The game itself controls really, really well. But in this day and age, when I smash my head into a wall of things that aren't working for me, I am critical of it. And turns out I don't enjoy Hollow Knight, not because the gameplay or the controls were bad, but because of other decisions in that game. The map system is basically what ruined it for me, and it was just like, I questioned, why are we doing this in, that game came out 2012, 2015, sometime between there, right? And it's got questionable decisions in it. And, I don't want to spend time playing a game I'm not going to enjoy. So my opinion on this game is that I don't understand how people are managing to gloss over these what I consider glaring problems. Does it make it a bad game? No. Do I think it's bad game design? Yes, but that's my opinion, right? And I'm okay with that, right? I have stopped caring about what anybody else thinks or says, right? Reviews, very useful to make informed purchases, right? Your friends can recommend you a game, but all in all, you have your own opinion to make sure that you are right when it comes to what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy. You are also right if you think a game's bad, right? That's okay. And I think the problem you see a lot is people smash heads together when it shouldn't even be a problem. So for me, if I was saying to someone about Hollow Knight, for example, my own opinion of the game is there's a good game there, marred down with a very weird beginning that I think would turn a lot of people off, and this problem with the map system, which feels very archaic and unnecessary, and I think would be better if it was built in as like a thing for hard mode, or an extra option of difficulty rather than the standard. That's how I would go about it. To me, it feels like bad design, because I'm like, what, why is this here? And basically the reason was you have to buy the maps, and then you get them at weird points in the game where they almost become useless, and it got to the point where I was like, I'm not enjoying playing this game. I'm going to stop playing this game because I feel like my time's being wasted. And that is a 100% valid thing for anybody playing video games. If you're playing something that you're not enjoying, no matter how critically acclaimed, no matter how many people love it, if you're not enjoying it, stop. Don't force your way. Forcing your way through a video game is not the thing to do. You could be playing something else you'd enjoy way more, And this is something I have done in the past. Owlboy, didn't really enjoy that, but I did try and get through it, and I think I did complete it. But you know, I realize that my time is precious. If I could be playing it on something else that I enjoy, that's what I should be doing. I shouldn't be playing this game just because other people think it's great or it's meant to be great, right? And I think this is a problem we have. Nostalgia is a massive problem for this. You know, like for example, I love Donkey Kong Country, the original Donkey Kong Country. To me, it is the best Donkey Kong game ever made. Handles amazing, great music, great level design. I've seen people that didn't play those games, or that particular game as a kid, say, oh, I don't think it handles nearly as well as the new games. I'm like, what? You're crazy, like it handles better. You know, they're not wrong. I'm not wrong. It's just different expectations and what they expect, you know. And Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is a fantastic game. And if you prefer that to the original DKC, fair enough. I prefer the way this game handles. You know, and that's a game that was critically acclaimed. There's going to be loads of people nowadays that probably aren't going to enjoy that. But it's something that I've really noticed where I'm just like, it's okay for you to be right with your opinion and everyone else to be wrong. Like, don't ever feel like you should have to like agree with other people and stuff when it comes to a video game. It's a piece of media. If you don't enjoy it, that's fine. You can take my, like, I don't like some of the elements of Dark Souls and the fan base surrounding Dark Souls. The actual game itself wasn't that bad. I did have fun playing with it. But, like, the way that game's set up is just not for me. Is it a bad game? No, not really. Is there bullshit in it? Absolutely. But that's just the nature of those games. So I don't play those games. I choose not to play those games because I know they're not for me. I don't play a lot of roguelites because I know they're not for me. Another great example, Celeste. Everyone goes on about how great Celeste is. Problem is, Celeste, what I've seen of it is very Super Meat Boy in the sense of it's very much like that precision platforming. I know I don't like that game. I know that I wouldn't enjoy that game, because of having played similar things, right? And that's okay. And unfortunately, me doing videos like, I don't like Mario 64 and that's okay, and I don't like Age of Empires and that's okay, just happen to be popular games, right? Where I'm turning around and being like, I don't really like this thing. And it rubs people up the wrong way. I don't necessarily think Ocarina of Time is as good as most people think it is. I definitely don't think Mario 64 is as good as most people think it is. People think I'm wrong, and I'm okay with that. But I'm also like, I'm not wrong. Like, my reasoning for those games being the way they are, like, you know, we laud these classic games at the time. 3D games have moved on so much. Cameras have gotten better. All this stuff. In this day and age, this game does kind of suck. Can I respect the game? Absolutely. You know, of course I respect Ocarina of Time and Super Mario 64. Do I want to play those games again? No! I had a horrible time playing them. Not so much Ocarina of Time, but it's got serious issues. And I think this is the problem, is people can't have that. They take it personally. They feel like they're being personally attacked. I don't care. If you love Mario 64, fantastic. Great. You have a wonderful time with it. I don't want to play that game ever again. You know, for X, Y, and Z reason that I've explained in my video. And it's something like, I don't know how to go. This video has no purpose other than for me to vent. But going forward, I'm just going to stop listening to what people have to say. Because it's just like, dude, if I don't like something, and here's my reasons for it, and I think this particular thing is bad game design, or whatever my reasoning is, who cares if you agree or not? If you love the game, great. If I don't like it, great. You know, and it's like, there are a ton of things like that where I'm like, oh, this game's really awesome, and other people are like, what the fuck are you on about? This game's awful. And that's cool. Like, that's fine. I love proper discussion. I like to know why somebody likes a game and why somebody doesn't like a game. I like to know both sides because I find that interesting. But 99% of people cannot have a proper discussion, right? And that is just a fact. Like, most people you sit with, like, you know, I could sit down and probably talk about Dark Souls with about a few people, and only a few people I could have a good discussion with. Everybody else would be like, nah, it's the most perfect thing on a pedestal. The same with, you know, the classic Mario games, right? I'm pretty sure I could sit down and talk about Mario Bros. 1 to World, so that includes 2, 3, and World, right? And talk about why we think certain ones are better, and have a really good discussion about it, you know? And it's just one of these things. It's been driving me up the wall, because it's like, hey, look, my opinion is my opinion. Your opinions don't matter. Yes, I'll do my research, and maybe I'll ask people, but overall, your opinions don't matter. They really don't. So as an individual, no matter who it is, like who you are, right, your opinion matters when it comes to that media. Do you like it? Yes. Do you not like it? No. Why do you like it? Why don't you like it? And even if you give shit reasons, it doesn't matter. You enjoy it for what it is, you know? And because if you're getting older, you know, I'm in my 30s now, Like, I have limited time and money. I'm not going to always play the things that people say that are the best thing ever. And when I do, if I don't like it, that's okay as well. You know? Turns out I don't like Mario 64, and I would consider myself a massive Mario fan. I really like Metroidvanias. Turns out I don't really like Hollow Knight. You know, and that game could get really good after 5 hours, but I'm not going to waste more time playing a game I'm not enjoying. You know? And that's my thing going forward, is that any game that I'm really not enjoying after the 3 to 5 hours, and I bounce off it, fuck it. Like, I'm out. Like, I'm going to go play something else I want to play. I'm going to go play older games, you know? And I'm totally 100% cool with this. Like I said, this video, complete rant. Hopefully you guys can understand. I'm sure people are going to be down in the comments being like, meh, I don't really give a fuck. Like, this video really is just for me, just to rant. You know, if you want to comment and have a proper discussion about that, that's cool. Alright? All you need to know is opinions for reviews, very useful for when you for a consumer to have an informed purchase. But your own opinion on a video game is the only one that matters. Even if you're just like, I don't like the controls. That's completely fine. You know? That's a valid reason. I don't like the way the game handles. Cool, no worries. You know, and whatever anyone was supposed to say, fuck them. Anyway, thank you very much for just letting me ramble, essentially, at anyone that watches this. If you've stuck it out to the end, then fair play. I'm sure we've all had those moments where we smashed heads with people and we're just like, why are we even arguing about this? So if you like this video, hit like. Obviously, if you want to see more content, then hit subscribe. And then links for Facebook and Twitter will be down below. We're going to try and use those more this year and just make them a bit more active so people can keep up to date with information there as well as that thing on YouTube that lets you like send out notifications. I just want to be a bit more active. No promises though. And then yeah, if hopefully this has been a bit cathartic for some people, as for me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.